stars always seemed calm to humans. On Earth, night after night, people gazed up at the sky with wonder, seeing distant points of light and wondering what might lie beyond. For the rest of the galaxy, humans were little more than a curious footnote, a species limited to a single planet without advanced technology, and certainly not a serious threat. But the galaxy was about to learn that humans were far more than they seemed. In the high council chambers of the Galactic Empire, representatives of 1,000 alien species gathered. Crystal panels floated in mid-air, displaying star charts and sensor readings from across the cosmos. The council's main topic today: an unusual signal from a distant, unremarkable system labeled Sol. "I see no reason to investigate," said Korthak, a giant insectoid diplomat, clicking his mandibles in disdain. "The readings are weak, primitive. Their weapons, if we even call them that, are simple energy pulses and projectiles. Hardly a challenge for our fleets." "Perhaps," replied Lareth, a sleek, water-like being from the ocean world of Vishara. "But their signals are strange, highly coordinated. Their activity doesn't match the patterns of any simple species. It is almost as if they are thinking ahead." Korthak huffed a puff of iridescent gas. "Thinking? Thinking does not equal power. Let us not waste time on curiosity. They are harmless." Still, a small task force was dispatched. 3 fast, silent ships slipped out of the Council's main gates and moved toward the Sol system. They were cloaked, invisible to the primitive sensors humans had, and the crews were confident that nothing in that quiet corner of the galaxy could surprise them. Meanwhile, on Earth, things were calm but busy. In orbit, the human exploration. Command prepared a series of probes and survey ships. Humans had made contact with their own solar system neighbors, the Moon, Mars, and beyond, but interstellar travel was still limited. Most of their technology, while clever and efficient, was intentionally restrained. They had weapons capable of destruction far beyond what they usually deployed, but humans valued exploration over domination. Captain Elena Hart of the ship Aurora was overseeing the preparation of a new probe designed to scan deep space for habitable planets. She was tall with steady eyes and a calm voice, the kind that inspired confidence in her crew. "Are we ready for launch?" she asked, looking over the final checklist. "Almost, Captain," said Lieutenant Rami Patel. "We're just finalizing the energy shields. The probe is calibrated and all systems are nominal." "Good," Elena said, smiling. "Let's make sure our first message is welcoming. If anyone out there can hear us, I want them to know we come in peace." She paused, for a moment staring out at the stars. Humans had always looked up with wonder, but this time it felt different. She didn't know why. But there was a sense that something was out there, something waiting to be discovered. Far above the planet, cloaked ships of the Galactic Empire slipped past human sensors without a sound. The alien crews monitored the humans with curiosity, expecting nothing but predictable behavior. They watched as human ships conducted drills and surveys with a mixture of efficiency and ingenuity. The humans' weapon systems were basic compared to the Empire's standards. Lasers, conventional missiles, and small defensive shields formed the core of their arsenal. Yet what fascinated the aliens was not the power of these weapons. It was how humans used them. They adapted quickly, coordinated seamlessly, and found creative ways to achieve their objectives with minimal force. One alien officer, a species resembling a floating jellyfish named Xylar, frowned. "They have no need for stealth or heavy weapons, yet their tactics, they are not simple." "Perhaps it is just instinct," said another, a crystalline entity called Threeks. "Or chance." But the anomalies continued. Probes sent toward the outer planets of the Sol system were dodged, redirected, or even repurposed by humans using nothing more than calculated maneuvers and environmental knowledge. The aliens grew uneasy. Back on Earth, Captain Hart's probe launched successfully. It carried a simple message: images of Earth, basic mathematics, and a greeting in multiple languages. The team celebrated quietly, unaware that somewhere in the darkness alien eyes were watching, studying, and recalculating what they thought they knew about humans. In the council chambers, Sensors relayed the first images of humans moving in formation around their ships. The aliens were baffled. "They are coordinating without advanced AI?" Lareth asked, disbelief in her tone. Korthak scowled. "Impossible. Any species capable of such tactics must have technology beyond what they are showing. This does not make sense." Meanwhile, humans on the bridge of Aurora detected faint signals, anomalous patterns in deep space. Captain Hart leaned over the console. "Rami, do you see this?" she asked. Lieutenant Patel studied the readings. "It looks like interference, but it's not random. It's structured. Could be a message?" Elena nodded. "Prepare a response. Keep it simple. We don't know who or what we are talking to." As humans sent their response, the alien observers recorded every detail. They saw humans think quickly, adapt, and act in ways that no primitive species should be capable of. It was beginning to dawn on them that humans were hiding something. In orbit above Mars, a team of scientists tested one of the planet's old defense satellites. With minimal energy output, they demonstrated maneuvers that could redirect asteroids, disable hostile drones, or protect colonies, all with what appeared to be rudimentary equipment. Down below, children watched the night sky, dreaming of travel, exploration, and discovery. Humans were explorers by nature. Even without their full strength revealed, they had an unshakable spirit and creativity that the galaxy's most advanced species had overlooked. The alien fleet sent scouts closer, expecting to intimidate humans if necessary. But humans responded, not with fear, but calm intelligence. They observed, assessed, and positioned themselves strategically, using the environment and their own clever technology to appear stronger than they seemed. Zilar's tendrils quivered in frustration. Why are they not panicking? Why do they not flee? Thrix's crystalline shards hummed. They are confident. Their confidence is not arrogance. It is knowledge. And yet, we cannot detect the full extent of their power. Even the council in the distant core worlds began to pay attention. Humans were supposed to be weak, insignificant, and unimportant. Yet every observation, every simulation, hinted at a species that was much more capable than the galaxy had ever assumed. No. Earth Captain Hart looked at the data streaming in from their probe. "Whatever is out there," she said softly. "They're watching, and we'll need to be ready." Her crew nodded, aware of the vastness of space and the possibilities it held. But none of them realized that the aliens watching them were both puzzled and alarmed, beginning to question centuries of assumptions. Humans, calm and clever, were quietly rewriting the rules of what the galaxy considered possible. By the end of the day, the first contact signals had been exchanged. Humans had offered peace, curiosity, and intelligence. Aliens had offered scrutiny, doubt, and surprise. The balance of perception in the galaxy was shifting, and all of this was just the beginning, because humans were only showing a fraction of what they could truly do. In the dark depths of space, unseen by human eyes, the alien fleet reported back to their command. "Captain, I do not understand. These humans, they are nothing, and yet they are everything. We must observe more. They are hiding something." For the first time in galactic history, a species underestimated by everyone, considered weak, primitive, and inconsequential, was beginning to make others reevaluate the very meaning of power. The dark void of space was silent, but not empty. Hidden among the stars, 3 alien scout ships glided toward the Sol system. They were sleek, fast, and almost invisible, designed to gather intelligence without being seen. The crews were confident. After all, humans were supposed to be weak, primitive, and defenseless. On the bridge of the first scout ship, the insectoid officer Korthak watched the human vessels on the monitor. "Prepare to scan them. I expect no surprises. Their defenses are minimal. They will surrender easily if we push them." Beside him, the water-like Lareth flickered in irritation. "I have seen their coordination. They do not panic like other primitive species. Watch carefully, there is something unusual about them. The scout ships approached the outskirts of the human sphere, careful not to reveal themselves. But humans were not as blind as the aliens expected. Deep in orbit around Mars, Captain Elena Hart of the Aurora noticed faint energy readings. They were irregular, not like the patterns of natural phenomena. "Rummy," Elena said, pointing at the console. "I think we have visitors. Not signals, not probes. Ships, real ships, moving fast, cloaked. And they're approaching us." Lieutenant Patel's eyes widened. "Cloaked? How is that possible? They must be advanced." "Very advanced." Elena stayed calm. "We don't know their intentions. Let's prepare a defensive perimeter, but do it quietly. No need to provoke them." The human fleet moved subtly, deploying satellites and scanning arrays to monitor the approaching ships. Even without full weapons activation, humans were skilled at analyzing potential threats and predicting their movements. In space, the alien scouts were surprised. Every movement they made was anticipated. Drones they sent out to scan the human. Ships were intercepted, not destroyed, not captured, but redirected and neutralized by clever human countermeasures. Korthak's mandibles clicked nervously. How are they doing this? Their weapons are basic, their ships are ordinary, yet they counter everything perfectly. "They adapt," Lareth said slowly. "They are observing, learning, adjusting, at a speed I have never seen." Humans were not aggressive. Instead of attacking, they maneuvered intelligently, using the natural environment of space to their advantage. Asteroid belts became shields, magnetic fields became traps, and empty space was used for strategic positioning. The aliens realized that humans had something their sensors could not detect, an extraordinary mind for tactics and improvisation. Captain Hart watched the alien scouts carefully. "We don't know them. We don't know why they are here. But we can learn from them if we stay calm." She turned to Lieutenant Patel. "Prepare a communication message. Make it simple, friendly, but firm. We must show that we are aware, but not afraid." Within minutes, a burst of energy shot toward the alien ships, a message encoded in electromagnetic waves. Humans included basic images of Earth, mathematical patterns, and a simple greeting. "We see you. We mean no harm. We are watching and learning." The aliens received it and paused. Lareth shimmered. "They are sending messages. They are not attacking. They are intelligent. They are observing us just as we are observing them." Korthak hissed. "This is unacceptable. No primitive species behaves like this. Perhaps they have hidden weapons. We must test them." The scouts moved closer, activating low-energy pulses in a show of force. The humans did not panic. Instead, they responded with clever countermeasures, not to harm, but to demonstrate capability. A drone approaching the alien ships was intercepted by a simple gravity tether, redirecting it harmlessly into a nearby asteroid. A minor energy pulse from a human ship created a feedback loop, forcing one alien scout to retreat momentarily. On the alien bridge, Xylar pulsed nervously. "Their defenses. They are creative. Not brute force, not destruction, creativity. I have never seen anything like this." Thrix's crystalline shards rattled. "They are more than we expected. Do we continue or retreat?" Korthak growled. "No, we continue. Observe everything. Report nothing yet. They may be hiding their true abilities. We must learn." For hours, the standoff continued. Humans and aliens studied each other silently, exchanging signals and subtle maneuvers. The aliens expected fear, confusion, or panic. They saw none. The humans remained calm, adaptive, and focused. They showed a discipline and intelligence that defied all expectations. Meanwhile, back on Earth, civilians noticed strange patterns in communication satellites and deep space sensors. Astronomers were puzzled by faint, unusual signals. Scientists debated whether it was natural phenomena or evidence of extraterrestrial intelligence. Yet most people remained unaware of the true drama unfolding above them. On the bridge of the Aurora, Captain Hart finally spoke. "They are testing us. Not attacking, but testing. That is clear. Let's not give them a reason to think we are weak." Lieutenant Patel nodded. "What do you suggest, Captain?" "Observe, adapt, respond, and most importantly, do not overreact. Humans have strength, but they also have restraint. That is our advantage." The alien scouts were growing frustrated. No matter how many scans, probes, or subtle attacks they tried, humans countered every move. They were not reckless, not panicked. They used every situation creatively, turning potential threats into manageable challenges. Larith floated closer to the viewing panel. "It is as if they are playing with us, not for aggression, but to understand us. To learn," Korthak snapped. "This is dangerous. Primitive species do not play with advanced fleets. They submit or die. Yet these, humans, they neither submit nor die. They adapt. They improve." The aliens were beginning to question everything they knew. How could a species with seemingly primitive technology behave in ways that defied advanced tactics? Every simulation they had conducted in the council chambers failed to predict human behavior. Every assumption about weakness, fear, and submission had been shattered. In space, the humans were quietly preparing for any scenario, even as they continued to study the alien ships. Small adjustments were made to shields, communication patterns were monitored, and formations were optimized. Humans were calm, patient, and incredibly observant. Finally, Captain Hart made a decision. "Let's send another message. A simple one. Show them that we are aware, intelligent, and capable, but also that we come in peace." Lieutenant Patel transmitted the message, including diagrams of Earth's solar system, signals indicating human intelligence and coordination, and a calm declaration. "We mean no harm. We are prepared. We are ready to learn." The alien scouts received it and paused. Korthak clicked his mandibles in disbelief. "They are speaking to us directly, not through translation devices, not through intermediaries, directly. They are intelligent, aware, capable, but why? Why would a primitive species show such control?" Larith's form shimmered. "Perhaps they are not primitive at all. Perhaps we have underestimated them entirely." Hours turned into a day. The alien scouts continued to observe, carefully noting every movement, every countermeasure, every message. Humans, in turn, maintained their calm, quietly preparing for the unknown. On Earth, Captain Hart stood at the observation deck of the Aurora, looking out at the stars. She felt no fear, only a profound curiosity. We don't know them. We don't know why they are here, but we will learn, and we will adapt. For the first time, humans and aliens were seeing each other as equals, not in power, not in technology, but in intelligence and creativity. The aliens had expected fear. They had expected weakness. They had found neither. The humans' calm, confidence, their creativity in defense, and their ability to adapt without panic left a lasting impression on the alien scouts. Even without showing their true capabilities, humans had demonstrated something far more valuable than weapons: intelligence, ingenuity, and restraint. And somewhere deep in the shadows of the alien ships, a quiet, unspoken realization spread among the crews. These humans were hiding something. They were not showing their true power. They were holding back. The stars above the Sol system were alive with anticipation. The first contact had occurred, but it was only the beginning. Humans had proven themselves capable, clever, and disciplined. The galaxy had underestimated them. The alien scouts had retreated to a safe distance, transmitting their observations back to the Galactic Council. The data they had collected was unlike anything the Council had ever seen. A species thought primitive had displayed intelligence, strategy, and calm under pressure that rivaled or even surpassed many advanced civilizations. In the Council chambers, representatives from hundreds of worlds gathered to analyze the information. The main holoscreen displayed simulations of the human fleet's maneuvers. Every motion, every adjustment, Every decision had been logged. Larith floated before the council, her form shimmering in thought. "They are not just intelligent," she said slowly. "They observe, predict, and adapt instantly. Their defensive strategies are sophisticated, yet they use no advanced technology. Their weapons are minimal, yet they counter every scenario perfectly. It defies logic." Korthak clicked his mandibles in frustration. "Logic has no place here. We are dealing with something unknown. They should be weak. They should have failed every test, yet they succeed with simplicity." Thrix's crystalline shards hummed, reflecting light from the hollow screen. "I have analyzed their signals, their movements, and their tactics. It is deliberate. They are showing only a fraction of their true capabilities. I believe they are hiding something." The council fell silent. No species had ever hidden its full power before. It was not customary. For centuries, species displayed their strength openly. It was how peace, dominance, and alliances were maintained. Yet here was humanity, calm, clever, restrained, and apparently capable of much more than they revealed. Back in the Sol system, humans were unaware of the full attention they had attracted. Captain Elena Hart of the Aurora watched the alien fleet retreat with a quiet smile. "They are cautious," she said. "That's good. It means they respect our intelligence. We must continue observing them as well." Lieutenant Rami Patel nodded. "Captain, I've been reviewing their fleet data. They are advanced, yes, but not perfect. Their coordination is impressive, but their reliance on raw technology makes them predictable in some ways." Elena's eyes sparkled. "Exactly. That's why restraint is our advantage. They may have weapons far beyond ours, but we have something they cannot measure: adaptability, creativity, and strategy." On Earth, scientists had begun to review old defense projects humans had never used. These included ships that could manipulate gravity fields, weapons capable of altering matter at the molecular level, and AI systems capable of predicting battle outcomes with near-perfect accuracy. Lieutenant Patel observed one of these AI programs. "We could defeat them in moments if we wanted," he said quietly. "Our true capabilities. They would never expect it." Captain Hart nodded. "And we won't, not yet. They are learning about us, and we are learning about them. Timing is everything." Meanwhile, the alien scouts had returned to the Galactic Council with detailed reports. The Council now faced an unprecedented problem: how to approach a species that was both underestimated and vastly capable, yet restrained. Korthak spoke first, his voice sharp. "They are dangerous, not because of what they show, but because of what they do not show. They could annihilate us if they wanted, but they choose not to." "Why?" Larith pulsed in thought. "Perhaps they value something we do not. Perhaps their morality, their philosophy, their restraint is a form of power we cannot measure." Thrix's shards rattled. "It may be intelligence combined with wisdom. We often mistake power for destruction, but humans may see power differently. They may use it only when necessary." Back in the Sol system, humans continued to monitor the alien fleet. They had detected faint communications, encrypted signals, and advanced scanning attempts. But humans had always prepared for unexpected situations. With clever decoys, sensor manipulation, and environmental tricks, they were able to hide the full potential of their ships. Captain Hart spoke to her crew. "They are curious. They want to know what we are capable of. Let's not disappoint them, but let's not reveal everything either. Our strength is in restraint. Our power is in strategy, not aggression." For hours, humans and aliens observed each other. The aliens were puzzled, impressed, and cautious. They had expected panic, fear, or reckless attack. Instead, they saw calm, calculated responses to every challenge. Finally, the Council decided to send a delegation to approach humanity officially. The delegation would represent a coalition of advanced species, including insectoids, crystalline beings, aquatic life forms, and others. Their mission: first contact, diplomacy, and observation. The alien delegation entered human space, maintaining a careful distance. Their ships were elegant, advanced, and intimidating, but human observers noticed subtle signals in their movement. These were not just warships. They were vessels designed for communication, negotiation, and intelligence. Gathering. Captain Hart ordered a small human fleet to accompany her flagship. They did not prepare for battle. They prepared for contact. As the two sides approached each other, the aliens sent a series of signals, asking for identification and purpose. Captain Hart replied with a calm, clear message. "We are humans. We explore, we learn, and we observe. We do not seek conflict. We welcome dialogue and understanding." The aliens paused, their sensors scanning the human fleet. For a moment, the atmosphere was tense, as though both sides were waiting to see if the other would act. Then, slowly, the alien ships adjusted, their formation signaling acknowledgement. Xylar, observing from the flagship, pulsed in fascination. They are not surrendering. They are not afraid. They are confident, but restrained, and yet they are capable of more than they show. Korthak growled softly. "I am beginning to understand. This species, they are hiding their true strength. Every action is deliberate, every reaction calculated. They could destroy us in minutes if they wished, yet they do not." Larith shimmered. "Their philosophy is clear. Strength without aggression. Power without domination. They are remarkable." Captain Hart finally spoke to her crew, her voice calm but filled with pride. "Humans are underestimated because we choose restraint. That is our advantage. They will see our creativity, our intelligence, our strategy, and one day, if needed, they will see our true power. But that day is not today." The aliens, for their part, began to reassess their assumptions. The Council had long measured strength in raw weaponry and technological advancement. Humans had shown them that true power could also lie in strategy, creativity, and moral choice. For the first time, the Galactic Council realized that humans were not a threat to be crushed. They were a force to be respected, studied, and understood. And even with a fraction of their true capabilities revealed, humans had already earned that respect. The stars above the Sol system seemed brighter than usual, reflecting the shift in perception across the galaxy. Humans and aliens had met, exchanged intelligence, and quietly tested each other's limits. Both sides had learned something invaluable. Humans were not ordinary, not weak, and not predictable. Captain Hart looked out at the alien fleet from the bridge of the Aurora. She knew that this was only the beginning. Humans had hidden depths, technologies, and strategies that the galaxy had yet to see. They had strength beyond imagination, but they chose to show only restraint, intelligence, and creativity, and in the alien command ships, a quiet acknowledgement spread among the officers. Humans were not only intelligent, they were exceptional. In the days that followed, the humans continued to communicate, explore, and observe. They did not provoke the aliens, but neither did they hide their confidence. Every maneuver, every message, every choice reflected a species aware of its potential, but guided by wisdom and restraint. For the first time in history, a species underestimated by the galaxy had revealed enough to shock even the most advanced civilizations. And the revelation was clear. Humans were capable of far more than anyone had imagined, and the galaxy had only begun to scratch the surface of their true power. The Council would soon debate what to do next. How do you approach a species that is stronger than it appears? How do you interact with beings who choose restraint even when they could dominate? The Sol system was calm once more, but that calm was deceptive. Humans had barely begun to understand the alien scouts, let alone the full extent of the Galactic Council's curiosity. Unknown to them, a rogue faction of the alien empire, impatient and aggressive, had decided to test what they believed were primitive human defenses. The rogue fleet consisted of 12 advanced warships, bristling with weaponry far beyond anything humans had openly displayed. Their leaders believed it would be a simple victory, a demonstration of power against a species they still considered minor. They did not know that humans were careful, clever, and always prepared. On the Aurora, Captain Elena Hart monitored the fleet approaching the outer planets. "Rami," she said calmly, "we've got company. Not friendly company. They're not responding to our messages." Lieutenant Rami Patel studied the sensors. "They're fast, heavily armed, but their formation is predictable. They assume we'll panic. They assume we'll run." Elena nodded. "Good. Let's prove them wrong." She turned to her crew. "Prepare all defensive measures. Not to attack, just to protect. And remember, we do this with brains, not just firepower." The rogue alien fleet moved into striking position near Jupiter. Their weapons hummed with lethal energy, capable of destroying an entire human colony in seconds. But humans were not afraid. Instead, they analyzed the terrain, the positions of the planets, moons, and asteroid fields, and planned a defense that used every element of their environment. "Activate the asteroid shields," Elena commanded. "Redirect some debris to create a buffer. Deploy drones for reconnaissance. Let them come. Every move they make will teach us more." The aliens fired first, expecting chaos. Energy beams lanced toward the humans' fleet. But the humans did not scatter. Using a combination of orbital maneuvers, gravitational pulls, and environmental awareness, the beams were diverted harmlessly into nearby asteroids, causing small explosions that served as both distraction and defense. Korthak, commanding the rogue fleet, was astonished. Why are they not fleeing? Why are they not panicking? Their ships, they are avoiding our fire with basic weapons? Larith pulsed nervously. "It is strategy. It is calculation. They anticipate our moves. They adapt. They are remarkable." Meanwhile, humans prepared calculated countermeasures. Using old defense satellites, they created decoy signals, fooling the alien sensors into overestimating the number of ships and the strength of human weapons. They did not attack aggressively, but every move was designed to protect their colonies and buy time. Elena spoke to her fleet. "Remember, we are not here to destroy. We are here to survive and outsmart. Their weapons are strong, but they are predictable if we think carefully." Lieutenant Patel grinned. "Predictable, yes, but powerful. They will learn quickly if we make mistakes." The aliens advanced, assuming brute force would win. They tried coordinated attacks, flanking maneuvers, and focused energy beams. Yet, the humans anticipated each move. They manipulated gravity, fields, created traps using moons and magnetic interference, and redirected attacks in ways the aliens could not comprehend. On the flagship of the rogue fleet, Zelar's tendrils pulsed rapidly. Their defenses, their tactics, they are unlike anything we have seen. It is not raw power, it is intelligence. "They are thinking 10 steps ahead," Korthak hissed. "Impossible. No primitive species can anticipate us like this. They must have hidden weapons." Back in the human fleet, Elena watched a small squadron of alien ships attempting to flank their position. With a few simple adjustments to orbital speed and trajectory, humans funneled the alien ships into a narrow asteroid field. The aliens realized too late that their movements had been anticipated. A subtle gravitational pulse nudged their ships, slightly off course, causing a chain reaction of minor collisions that slowed the attackers without destroying them. Lieutenant Patel could not hide a smile. "They didn't expect that. They still think we are weak." Elena's eyes were steady. "Let them learn. Every mistake they make teaches them more about human strategy, and we are learning more about them too." The battle continued for hours. Humans displayed extraordinary creativity, using decoys, environmental manipulation, and precise timing to counter overwhelming odds. The aliens were growing frustrated and increasingly cautious. They realized that direct attacks were ineffective against a species that thought, adapted, and remained calm under fire. Suddenly, one of the rogue commanders attempted a bold maneuver, a direct assault on Earth itself. He assumed humans would panic, scatter, and leave the planet vulnerable. Captain Hart's calm voice echoed across the fleet. "Activate the planetary shield arrays. Use the moon's gravity to create a temporary barrier, and prepare countermeasures for orbital disruption." Humans deployed their hidden capabilities, but subtly. Satellites hidden for decades, projected electromagnetic fields that deflected energy weapons. Gravity-based countermeasures nudged incoming alien ships off course. Drones intercepted targeting systems, sending false readings. The planet remained untouched. The rogue fleet, stunned, realized that humans had not even begun to use their full arsenal. Every defensive measure was careful, intelligent, and non-lethal whenever possible, yet it neutralized their attacks completely. On the bridge of the alien flagship, Xylar's tendrils trembled. Their defense, it is genius, not brute force. They could destroy us all if they wished, but they are restrained. Why? Lareth shimmered. Because they are not only intelligent, they are moral. They choose when to fight and when to protect. That is strength we cannot measure. Despite the aliens' frustration, they could not gain the upper hand. Human ingenuity turned every advantage into a trap for the attackers. The rogue fleet began to retreat, their confidence shattered. Captain Hart gave the final command. Hold. Positions. Let them leave. We have shown our strength without unnecessary destruction. As the aliens withdrew, a quiet admiration spread among their crews. Even Korthak, normally brash and arrogant, admitted privately. They are remarkable. Not just technology, not just tactics. Humans are clever, patient, and strategic. They are more than we imagined. Back on Earth, civilians watched the skies, unaware of the battle above. Astronomers detected unusual patterns in satellites and communications, sparking debates about unknown objects and strange cosmic phenomena. But the truth, the intelligence, skill, and restraint of humanity, remained secret. Captain Hart addressed her crew. Today we have shown the galaxy what humans can do, even without revealing our full power. Remember, our advantage is not in aggression, it is in strategy, creativity, and restraint. That is what makes us strong. Lieutenant Patel nodded. They underestimated us, Captain, and they will never make that mistake again. The rogue fleet transmitted a final message before leaving the Sol system. It was respectful, acknowledging human capability without aggression. The message contained a simple statement. You are unlike any species we have encountered. We will reconsider our assumptions. Elena smiled. Good. Let them think about that. Let them learn that humans are not what they seem, and when the time comes, we will decide how to show them the rest. For the first time, humans had faced a direct challenge from a superior force, and won. Not through raw power, but through intelligence, ingenuity, and unshakable calm. The galaxy had underestimated them, and the lesson had been learned the hard way. The stars over Earth seemed brighter that night, as if acknowledging the hidden strength of the planet's inhabitants. Humans had proven themselves capable, disciplined, and clever. They had defended their home, protected their people, and outsmarted an advanced fleet, all without revealing their true potential. The rogue faction, returning to the Galactic Empire, would report what they had seen. A species underestimated, restrained, and dangerously capable, and the Council would have to reconsider their entire approach to humanity. Captain Hart looked at the stars from the bridge of the Aurora. This is only the beginning. One day we will show the galaxy what humans are truly capable of. But today, we survived. And that is enough. The Sol system was calm again, but the calm was not the same as before. The galaxy had seen humans in action, not their full power, but enough to shock even the most advanced civilizations. Reports of human strategy, creativity, and restraint spread rapidly through the Galactic Council. No species had ever demonstrated such intelligence without aggression. In the council chambers, representatives from countless worlds debated how to approach humanity. Lareth shimmered thoughtfully. They are unlike anything we have seen. They have strength, but they use it with wisdom. They could dominate if they wished, yet they choose not to. That is power beyond technology. Korthak clicked his mandibles slowly. They are a species to respect, not fear, not attack. They have taught us a lesson we were not prepared for. Any attempt to underestimate them would be disastrous. Thrix's crystalline shards vibrated softly. We have measured their tactics, their adaptability, and their restraint. Even their primitive technology can be lethal if used cleverly. And yet, they do not seek unnecessary conflict. We must approach them carefully. Diplomacy first. Observation second. On Earth, Captain Elena Hart and the human fleet were preparing for what would be the most important moment in their history, official first contact with the Galactic Council. "We have proven ourselves," she said quietly to Lieutenant Rami Patel as they observed the Council delegation approaching. "But now we step into a new chapter. We will show the galaxy who humans are, not with weapons but with wisdom." The alien delegation entered the Sol system, maintaining a formation that was elegant, respectful, and slightly cautious. Humans recognized the variety of species present: insectoid commanders, crystalline beings, aquatic diplomats, and others. Each represented advanced civilizations that had once assumed humans were weak. Elena addressed the delegation via a secure communication. "Link, we are humans. We explore, we learn, and we protect. We do not seek domination. We have the ability to destroy, but we choose to act with intelligence, strategy, and restraint." The delegation paused. Xylar, observing the humans directly, pulsed with admiration. They speak with clarity and confidence. They are aware of their strength, yet they do not threaten. This is remarkable. Korthak, normally sharp and skeptical, admitted quietly. Their power is hidden, yet their influence is already felt. They do not boast, yet they command respect through action and restraint. For the first time in the Galactic Council's history, a species had entered their sphere not as a subordinate or a threat, but as a respected equal. The council members asked many questions: how humans strategized, how they maintained calm under overwhelming odds, and how they could achieve such victories with what appeared to be simple technology. Captain Hart explained carefully. "Our philosophy is simple. Strength without purpose is useless. Power without responsibility is dangerous. We rely on creativity, observation, and adaptation. Our true power exists, but it is only used to protect, not to dominate." The aliens were stunned. They had measured humans by technology, by firepower, by speed, by raw force, and humans had shown them none of those metrics truly measured strength. Humans had taught the galaxy that intelligence, strategy, and morality were weapons of their own kind. In the council chambers, debates raged. Could a species so young, so small in galactic terms, really be trusted with such power? Could they influence the balance of interstellar politics without domination? Lareth summarized the sentiment. Humans are exceptional. They are capable of power that rivals entire fleets, yet they act with caution and wisdom. To ignore them would be folly. To confront them aggressively would be disaster. They must be respected, observed, and engaged as equals. Meanwhile, back in human space, Captain Hart and her crew continued to monitor the galaxy. They knew that some civilizations might still act with fear or suspicion, but humanity had proven that intelligence and restraint were stronger than aggression. Human scientists began to quietly share limited knowledge with select alien allies, showing technologies that had been hidden for decades: gravity manipulation, molecular-level engineering, advanced AI strategy, but always with clear guidance. These tools were for defense and exploration, not for conquest. The Galactic Council was impressed. Several species began forming alliances with humans, not for war, but for cooperation and knowledge sharing. Humans had become a bridge between species, demonstrating that wisdom could surpass mere firepower. Captain Hart addressed her crew aboard the Aurora. "We have earned respect, not through dominance, but through restraint, intelligence, and creativity. That is the essence of what it means to be human. Our future among the stars depends on these principles, not just our strength." Lieutenant Patel smiled. We've shown them that humans are clever, adaptable, and capable of more than they expected. And we've done it without ever fully revealing what we can do. Elena nodded. Exactly. Our hidden capabilities are our safeguard. Our restraint is our strength. The galaxy will learn to respect us. One day, when the time comes, they will see what humans are truly capable of. But that day is our choice. News of humans' abilities spread across the galaxy. Even species that had never encountered humans directly began to reassess their assumptions. Humans were no longer seen as a minor species. They were a force of intelligence, creativity, and moral strength. In the Sol system, Earth continued its quiet orbit around the sun. To the casual observer, nothing had changed. But humanity had grown. They had survived a challenge from an aggressive fleet, outsmarted enemies far superior in technology, and gained the respect of the galaxy's most advanced civilizations. On the bridge of the Aurora, Captain Hart gazed at the stars. "This is only the beginning," she said softly. "Humans have a place among the stars. A place earned not through fear, but through wisdom, courage, and ingenuity. We will continue to explore, to protect, and to teach the galaxy a new lesson. Strength is not measured by weapons but by intelligence, restraint, and moral choice." Across the galaxy, alien fleets and species began to reconsider old prejudices. Humans were no longer the underestimated primitive race. They were a species to be respected, studied, and admired. Even civilizations that had once assumed dominance over others now realized that humans were a new standard of what it meant to be powerful. Captain Hart's final message to the Galactic Council summed up humanity's philosophy. We are capable of great power. We are capable of great destruction. But we choose another path. We act with strategy, creativity, and moral wisdom. We protect life, explore the unknown, and inspire understanding. That is the strength of humanity. The Council received it in silence. For the first time in millennia, a message from a newly contacted species left them awestruck, humbled, and eager to learn. And on Earth, life continued as usual. Children gazed at the stars, dreaming of travel, of exploration, and of what lay beyond the solar system. Humans continued their work quietly, always prepared, always observing, always learning. The galaxy had discovered humans. Humans had survived and prevailed, and the revelation was clear. Humanity's greatest weapon was not technology, not firepower, not speed. It was intelligence, creativity, and the wisdom to use power responsibly. From that moment forward, no species would ever underestimate humans again. The galaxy had learned its lesson. The quiet, clever species from Sol, Earth, had a power that could not be measured by conventional means, and that power was already changing the universe. The stars above Earth shone brighter that night, as if acknowledging the birth of a new era. Humans had stepped onto the galactic stage not with aggression, but with calm confidence, brilliant strategy, and moral strength. The galaxy would never be the same. Captain Hart looked at her crew one last time. "Remember this day. Remember what it means to be human. We have proven that we are more than anyone expected, and the universe is only beginning to understand who we are." And as the alien fleets watched from a distance, one thought spread quietly through the stars. Humans are a species unlike any other, cunning, wise, and restrained. The galaxy must respect them, for their true power has yet to be fully revealed, and when it is, the universe will remember. Humanity had arrived. The stars had witnessed the rise of a species that would define a new era, not through war, not through fear, but through ingenuity, strategy, and the strength of the mind. The galaxy was finally ready to see what it meant to underestimate humans, and the consequences of such a mistake.